You're listening to Making Money Online with Lisa Johnson, the podcast that tells you what it really takes to build a business and the simple steps to get you there. I'm determined to share with you the reality of easy, simple business marketing tips to make passive income so that you can start making money online. Making Money Online is sponsored by Nicola J. Rowley PR, helping entrepreneurs and brands get visible through strategic storytelling. If you're serious about being seen and impacting the lives of others, harnessing the power of PR is the best way to grow and scale your business. Visit njrpr.com for more details and read Nicola's best-selling book, The Power of PR. Hello, and welcome to today's episode. For all of my more spiritual friends out there, that you're going to love this week's episode. I always bring you the best spiritual people out there because even though I'm not massively spiritual, and most of you know I'm not massively woo, I'm really open to the idea of what people can do and what, you know, people's different experiences with spiritual and spirituality. So I'm never going to be that person that is like, well, I don't believe in things, so I'm never having anyone on here that does those things, because I think it's really important that everyone finds their own truth with things and that everybody gets to believe and practice whatever they want to without judgment from others. So I really hope that you welcome her as much as I do. I have the amazing Lizzy Adams with me today. So what Lizzy does is she helps entrepreneurs to connect to their animal spirit guides through, I think you say, is it Reiki or Reiki? I always get this bit wrong.
You can say it either way.
Oh, there you go. To help them become more successful in business. And anything that helps people become more successful in business is all good with me. So I want to start off, Lizzy, by asking you, how the heck do you get into an industry with, like, when did you like go, oh, I can do this thing? Like, I always wonder, like, how do people just wake up one day and go, I can talk to, like, animal spirit guides on the other side? How?
Well, I know. I think sometimes I even sit there and think to myself, like, is this me? I can do this? Oh, okay. So back in 2017, I had a mental breakdown. I was quite unwell. I felt incredibly lost. Everything was just falling apart at the seams. I have twin girls. I also had postnatal depression, and it was just a very difficult time for me. And I kept on looking at my friends on social media, and a couple of them in particular were going through some difficult times. They were going through a divorce and things, but they had tapped into this energy. They were learning how to do Reiki. And I was like, is this just another one of these woo-woo fads that, you know, you feel enlightened and you go off and you do this? And I kept on seeing it over and over again. And at first I remember seeing my friend, and I reached out to her and I was like, what's the worst that can happen? I spend an hour with you and it either works or it doesn't work. And I was like, I've got nothing to lose at this point. She was all ready to go. She was literally about to come to my house. I was like, no, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I backed out a couple of times. And then I finally reached out to one of my local friends, and she did a Reiki session with me. Now, I know that you have to release, like in anything that we do, whether or not it's therapy or anything, we have to release that negative emotions, negative energy, to be able to bring in like positive energy, healing energy and everything. I know that, but for me, I was very much like, no, this isn't it. What's this? And I went in for my first session, and I laid there, and all I could do was proper snot, ugly cry. That's proper snotting, ugly crying. And I was so embarrassed. And I felt this cold energy come like up my legs. And I was like, surely I should be leaving this happy, you know. And I had this thing in my head that was like, surely I should be leaving this session happy. And I'm going away like that I need to have shares in Kleenex right now.
Oh.
A friend is saying to me, but you're releasing this negative, this is really, really good for you. Like, you're releasing all this negative energy, you're releasing what no longer serves you. And I'm going, yeah, all right, that's great. Thanks for this. So I was still really intrigued by everything, but I won't lie, I was very embarrassed of going to see someone. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to learn it myself.
Yeah.
So I took the steps to learn it for myself, because I thought, then if I ugly cry, then no one needs to see that. That's fine. So yes, I went on a journey of learning Reiki in the first degree, which is predominantly about healing ourselves. And then I went on to learn up to like the master level. But every time that I was opening up, as we call it, like opening up to spirit, opening up to source, whatever you want to call it, I kept on seeing like animals, and I was really drawn to animals, and I kept on seeing them in my mind's eye, and I was like, this is really weird.
Are you an animal person anyway, just like in life?
Yeah, well, I've got dogs, and I love, like, I was that person when I was with the twins' dad that was always like, when we had a day off, he's like, what do you want to do? Should we go to the zoo? And he was like, for the love of Christ, we went last week. Yeah, can we go again? So I'm that person that was literally like, you put me in a room with a dog and I'll forget everybody else and I'll just be there with the dog. So I love animals, but I won't lie, I didn't think that you could see animals in your mind. I just thought I was very black and white when it comes to spirituality. I just kind of thought that you'd open up, you see people that's passed over, you tell people what's going on in the future, that's it. I didn't think that there was this broad spectrum of animals, everything else. The more I learned about animals, the more I learned that these are they're messengers that deliver us messages to tell us what is going to happen, like in the future, what's going to happen now. So yes, I incorporate everything that I do into helping people in their businesses, you know, because obviously they're giving them messages of how to push forward and things like this and how to manifest stuff as well. So everything I do is all linked to animals. Yeah, it's a bit crazy.
I have questions. So the animals that you see, are they pets that the people who you're giving the message to already knew before they died, or are they just random animals?
So if I was to sit here now and I was to do a reading for you, and we open up spiritually, and we're going to see, you know, we're going to see what's going to happen for you in business, and we open up. The animals that I see are messengers, so they have no relation to the person. And what they could be eagles, they could be elephants, they could be ants, all different types of things. And each one of those signifies something different. So if I was to see a butterfly, then it means that there's transformation and new beginnings that's going to come into your life. If I was to see a squirrel, it means that you need to have more fun into your life. Eagles predominantly mean more freedom. So yes, they all have
there's all different things. And do you think anyone can learn how to do this, or do you think it's something that you have to have already in you?
I firmly believe that anyone can learn it. I prove that because I helped you teach people to open up to these things.
But they might not see animals. I suppose they could see something else.
Yeah. They may see something else, so they may see different guides. So for them, it might be something that's significant to them. But I try to help people. So I do a lot of meditations to help people to see these guides. And it's quite funny because there's an author, Terry Pratchett. Obviously, he's, you know, the great books that he did and everything. And in one of his books, has a little witch, and the character in this sits there and says, your first thoughts are your witchy thoughts, like your spirits or everything like that. Your second thoughts are you. Your third thoughts are like where you're overthinking. And believe it or not, that's what I teach. And I say to people when they're open and learning, I sit there and go, do you know what? This is what Terry Pratchett taught. And I kid you not, whether or not he meant it, that's exactly how you should do it.
Maybe
and as soon as
more to it. Maybe there's more to those books than we know. So if, like, you can say no to this, but I am really interested in the idea. Oh, look, it's 1111. As I'm saying this, that's weird, isn't it? I'm really interested in the idea of you giving me a message. Is it something that could be done like this during a podcast, or would it just not work?
Yeah, so we could do this. So what I would then do is I would connect to you spiritually. So I would just go into a state of telepathy. I often have my eyes closed, and I always say to people as well, like, when I have my eyes closed, it's okay. I've not fallen asleep. It just kind of, I don't know, it cuts that tension sometimes.
Yeah. But actually, it's on a podcast, though, so no one would see that. So that would be fine.
quite sweet because they sit there and you can see like these little faces like to say, oh my God, what's going on now, kind of thing. But yeah, so then you kind of connect into it and I'll be able to feel like the energies around you and see what's about.
Should we do it so that people can see what happens? I think that'd be really a fun thing to do. Let's do it. Like if it goes silent or anything, guys, it's not because we've gone anywhere. We're working.
I've not fallen asleep, I promise you.
Yeah, and I'm just going to tell you what Lizzy is doing as we do it. So at the moment, Lizzie's making hand movements because I know you won't be able to see this, and she has her eyes closed. So I presume she's connecting to me now.
Okay, so you have a lot of the colour red on you at the second, so which means that you need to work on your root chakra at the second. So your root chakra is at the base of your spine, so it feels like you need to kind of work on that and feel a little bit more grounded in yourself at the second. Oh, that's a little bear. Okay, so I just seen it, so they come through really quite quickly. So they're saying that you need to be a little bit more grounded. That just kind of just means that you just need to just relax for just 5 minutes and just make sure that you connect back to nature. So maybe put your feet in some grass or just take 2 minutes just to sit in the garden, just to kind of just forget everything. It's like recharging yourself. So I've just seen a bear. So bears are all to do with like healing or being a healer. They've talked to us about, go on. They talk to us about healing oneself and making sure that we're looking after ourselves as well. So bears talk to us about that, but they also have an element about strength that they talk to you about as well.
Just to let you know, you're touching your heart at the moment, which is where, and you won't know this, but I've just been diagnosed with a heart issue.
Oh.
And I'm watching you touch your heart as you talk to me about healing. So that's quite interesting.
Oh my goodness me. Oh, just got a shiver. The next one that we talk about is, so you've got lots of bears. You've got lots of variety of bears.
I quite like that. I like a bear.
So bears are quite, it sounds really funny, but bears are quite obviously like earthy creatures. So again, this talks to us about making sure that we're grounding ourselves and just making sure that we connect ourselves to earth. And it's the thing with grounding as well is it's also a like psychological thing as well. It helps to reduce high blood pressure, helps stresses, it helps so many different things. So it is also a scientific study as well with grounding ourselves. But yes, I've just seen a beautiful panda bear literally just go like crawl across and then just get like some bamboo. Pandas us all about balance. They talk to us about balance because of the yin and the yang and their colours and everything. So they talk to us about balance and making sure that everything is in line with ourselves. There's just this little element, so you kind of feel like, the best way that I can kind of describe it is that you feel slightly off balance at the second. Like, how do you put it? Like, I want to say the words wibbly wobbly because they're the only ones that have come to my mind at the second, but you just kind of feel like you should kind of be aligned in like one place, but the second is like you're swaying, like you're off balance. Like,
can I give you the words? The words are in limbo.
Yeah, like you feel like this at the second, and they're saying to you that we need to just push that back in a little bit. We need to just kind of push it all together so that you don't feel like that.
This is so interesting. Let me tell you why this is interesting. Because, so today I have a decision to make, right? And the decision that I need to make is whether to put an offer in on a house that I've seen. Now, I've been looking for a house for a long period of time, and I've been looking for a particular type of house, you know, like the whole grand designs, really quirky, really different type of house. And I found one, but, and here's the rub, it's in the middle of fields, loads of fields. It's a proper countryside house. And I would never normally ever want to live in the countryside. There are literally sheep all around me. There is grass all around me. It is like the most countryside, trees, earthy, grounding place that you can imagine. And I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to put an offer in or not. And and so I feel in limbo because I don't know what to do. I don't know whether to say yes or no. And so it's really interesting that all the words you were using were literally just describing where this house is. And it was making me laugh because that is where the decision I have to make. But the bears have pretty much just told me to go for it. So maybe I should listen to them. But yeah, that was really, it's so interesting. I mean, sometimes I do believe with these things that we can find patterns in things, and that we can find a meaning in things, whether they're there or not. But I actually don't think that's a bad thing, because if it's helping you make decisions about things, or it's helping people feel calmer or feel more confident in something that they're going to do, then where's the harm? That's what I always think. We get a lot of people, including me, who judge manipulative things. So for instance, there are people that tell you to just, if you pay me some money, I'll manifest this stuff, or teach you how to manifest stuff. And you know how I feel about that kind of stuff. It can feel really manipulative. But actually, with things like this, I kind of love it, because it's not manipulative. You only go into these things or hire people to do these things with you if you believe in spirituality and you believe you're open to these kind of things. And a lot of the time, it just gives you more confidence to do the things that you wanted to do anyway. And I think that anything, whether placebo or not, that gives you the tools and the strength to be able to do the things that you need to do in business to be successful, then I kind of love them, because you're getting the result that you want to get at the end of the day. So I love things like this. I have things like this done quite a lot, just for fun, the fun of it. I love the fun of it. And you must love it, because you must see so many different people who get these messages and then go on to do things with them.
Oh, it's so exciting. It really is. And I think as well, it's my face. It sounds really funny. And it's not that I doubt myself with anything, because I very much I will always say to anyone, when you go in with these things, remember you have free will. What happens is when you get these readings from whomever you go to, they are an avenue that you could particularly take in your life that is happening somewhere, in a state of mind that this can happen. But you ultimately have free will. If you decide to go left instead of right that day, your path will always change. And whenever I do readings, I'll sit there and finish the reading and everything, and it's so funny. Like, you've just obviously said these things about yourself, and it's my face, because I sit there and go, no way, that's not.
You can't even believe it yourself. That's always fun.
No, they're going, yeah, you get the reading. I'm like, I know, I just can't get over it.
I just think it's such a fun thing to do, and to be able to, sometimes when we want to just feel more mindset-wise, feel more like we're on the right path, or like we're doing the right thing, or that we want to stop worrying about something. I think things that are based in spirituality can massively help with that. I grew up a Mormon, so I grew up in a very, kind of almost cultish religion. But the good, and there were bad and good. There's always going to be bad and good in everything with spirituality. And the good thing about it was you never really worried that you were on the wrong path, because you were constantly told, the Holy Spirit is looking after you. If something happens and you're like, why has this happened? Like, this is such a bad thing. Then actually it was supposed to happen because something else is going to happen, and you'll look back and you will realize that it was meant to happen. And that does give you a certain amount of calm, of less worry, of confidence in doing things. And I think that the things you do and lots of others, when they connect to spirituality in a way where you're giving messages, does exactly the same thing.
Yeah, most definitely. And I think that's what I like about what I do, because things like Reiki, and even just like connecting, I think because I connect to animal spirits, it's very earthly, it's very nature wise. And in a sense, I try and connect you back to like what your surroundings is. Like, I will tell you, if you're struggling meditating, and we all know that meditation is great for us, but if you're struggling meditating, I'll tell you, go for a walk, listen to the wind. And they'll go, well, you're a bit crackers. And I'll go, do it, because that's a form of meditation, and you'll learn to calm your mind. Yeah. I will set these different things, and they all have this this element around them. Like, even Reiki is that beautiful healing. And, it allows us, like you say, even if it's a placebo for some, or whomever may think it's still this positive energy that pushes us forward. the glass is always half full, is what I always say. Never look at it as half empty.
Yeah, that's a brilliant way to think just about everything in life. So if somebody wants to actually learn how to do these kind of readings and to connect to their spirituality, where is the best place for them to come and find you to be able to be taught how to do that?
So the best place would probably to be come and find me at my Facebook page, because I seem to live over there at the second, which is Lizzy Adams. I'm an animal psychic and spiritual happiness coach. Or you can find me at my website, which is the same address as well. They're kind of place to kind of find me at the second. But yeah, everything will be on there for them.
Fantastic. And we're going to put that link in the show notes so that people can come over, because I know that people are always looking to add on to their skills. And this is something that can be added on. The spiritual element, the spiritual side of things can be added on to whatever you already do in your business. Thank you, Lizzy. It's been really good fun to speak to you today. I've really enjoyed it. And thank you, everybody, for listening. And I will see you next week for another episode of Making Money Online. Thank you for listening to Making Money Online with Lisa Johnson. If you'd like to get hold of my guide to launching, go to lisajohnson.com/launch and let's get you making money online.